For the first time on television, Kenya's brightest storytellers fight it out to decide who is a country's top young investigative journalist.
Let the others know that they have no chance in this.
This is Tangaza College.
And you're watching
Topstory.
That's the one.
There'll be sweat.
I am really sweating.
There'll be tears. And certainly, there'll be drama. As they strive for the top prize, two leading African storytellers will be there to guide them.
My name is John Allen Namu. I'm an investigative journalist.
My name is Joseph Warungu. I'm a journalist and media trainer.
My role on the Top Story is to help these 65 young journalists from 13 universities across Kenya shape and produce stories that can make the cut.
I'm here to share my long experience of reporting Africa and training journalists around the continent to help these young journalists sharpen their skills and tools of the trade.
Each week, two universities will be paired and will battle it out for the top story. A sponsored study tour abroad and the very latest media equipment are up for grabs. But to get to the top prize, the students will have to impress this panel of Kenya's highly accomplished journalists. This week on Top Story, Kenya Institute of Mass Communication and United States International University launch their investigation. But before the challenge begins, let's find out more about the universities.
This college was started in 1967 to train professionals in journalism, broadcasting, that is radio, television, engineering, and all those courses. We have more than 300 students in the population of the department, and most of the media houses have faith in our training courses.
One thing I liked about Kenya Institute of Mass Communication is the practical part of the studies that you're doing. Yeah, most of the things that we do in KIMC is practical. And about the facilities that we have in the institute, one is the ECN radio station, which is a community-based radio station. And we also have the photography studios.
If you want to study journalism and broadcast journalism, this is the college, Kenya Institute of Mass Communication.
USIU has definitely the best facilities. Not only do we have our own gazette and magazine called Sauti, but we also have a radio station, we have a TV room. So all these facilities actually do help in making us better journalists and train us in a very good way. Environment where you can do anything. You don't just, because I'm majoring in journalism doesn't mean I can't major in anything else, you know. I minor in marketing as well. And so they let you really just explore your talents and your gifts and desires. USIU is definitely the place to be.
Now that we've met the universities, let's move to Nakuru town, where the students will put their skills to the test. Each university has selected its top 5 storytellers.
We are here to participate in this competition, and I selected my team because, for one, I thought they were vibrant, they were open-minded, they are full of initiative, and they are organized.
The 5 members have been among the best in class in terms of presentation, performance, and passion as journalists. So it was just automatic. They're very excited about it. They think it's a good exposure, and they felt that would give them hands-on experience in journalism and also put into practice what they have covered in the last 1 year.
The lecturers have done their part. It's now up to the mentors to guide the universities.
You're about to launch into an investigation. We have no idea what this investigation is all about. Myself and John Alanamu will be your mentors for this exercise. From now on, you will have no contact at all with your lecturers. The important thing is that just think and behave like a journalist. The jury that will judge your stories at the end of these 48 hours will be looking for who has produced the top story.
This is no longer a classroom project. This is a taste of real life, as it were. What we'll be looking for is, number one, were you ethical? Especially with respect to investigative reporting, ethics, balance, fairness is extremely important. One important thing that we always do as a team is ask ourselves a couple of questions. Number one, is what I'm doing, is the story that I'm trying to produce new in any way? If not, if it's a story that's in the public domain, what is it that I'm bringing to the public this time around with my story that will make it interesting, in-depth, and my public and my audience will learn from? Secondly, when it comes to the story itself, how many sources do I have? Am I single sourcing? Am I looking just at one person to give me one narrative? How many narratives do I have on the ground? How many sources have I spoken to? How can I corroborate the facts that I've been given by one source and be able to translate them into a story? Remember to keep your heads when you're going out to search for this story.
In the world around us.
As the mentors prepare the teams, there is some dramatic news.
Interruption kidogo. It's something I want to read. There was another poaching attack at Lake Nakuru National Park on the 5th. Although the compound is surrounded by high fencing and is guarded at all times by armed security, poachers seem undeterred and attack the park. Fortunately, the game wardens were able to reach the area before the assault. The park's warden, Carol Mwebia, spotted one of the poachers who was wearing a police uniform and reportedly shot 3 times at the policeman, injuring him at the shoulder. After a gunfire exchange with the suspects, the group left the crime scene. Neither the rangers present nor warden were injured during the crime. The Nakuru police are searching for suspects and say the details of the investigations are strictly confidential.
There are 7 key sources connected to the crime that is being investigated. Each has crucial information. The students' task is to find and question each source. They have 48 hours to submit their findings to the judges in a written article. The competition has now started. KIMC students study the press release.
The Nakuru police are searching for suspects and say that the details of the investigation are strictly confidential.
I think the topic we've been given, we can handle it, and I will try best to give what we can. We have the best team, and we are up to the task.
I think the challenge is getting the contacts of the people to interview, but at the moment we get those the contacts, we will be able to tackle the real issue.
This is KIMC, training today's media practitioners.
Yay!
USIU students have had a look at the press release. What do they think of the story?
While approaching the area, the rangers noticed a group of armed poachers. I think the challenge is interesting. I mean, it's testing your limits of what you learn in class.
I love the fact that they've picked a topic that is of public interest. These guys are brilliant. They have, they're resilient, and we are sure we are going to nail this one.
This is USIU Africa, and we are going places!
Yay!
Something intelligent.
KIMC students start their investigation by walking. And more walking. And the walk continues. They are finally here with their first key source. She's also taking them for a walk. As KIMC tried to extract information from Carol, let's catch up with USIU.
Yeah, we're at Lake Nakuru National Park to find out our source and have an interview. Yeah. Thank you very much.
They seem relaxed, quite confident and playful.
We can't walk, we can't come to the park.
They stop to strategize on how they will approach their first key source.
Go and she gives the information and then she gives the name to the other sources. We can start looking for them as you continue interviewing.
True. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Writing, I'll be taking notes, of course.
Okay.
And I'll help her.
Recorder?
So we need to go see those.
You will record. That's good.
Okay.
Should we like book an appointment?
These are not high fences.
Fine.
My name is Josh.
And
I am Christine. Could we ask you a few questions at the moment?
Rhinos are territorial animals, right? If I'm not wrong. And how do they know that we can find rhinos at this particular place? Because I'm thinking they must have some information. What would you?
We cannot say necessarily that they must have information before coming to the national park. You know, Lake Nakuru is a breeding site for the rhinos, so it is not very hard for you to see the rhinos, and especially the white rhinos.
We have talked to Carol, and she's given us a lead, and that's what we are chasing after now. A lady called Martha Chebe, along Kano Street. So that's where.
A witness, yeah.
Yeah, she was a witness when the shooting occurred, and when the poachers were running out, she actually saw them. So she might be a good lead for our story. So yeah.
As USIU hunt for Martha, I wonder where KIMC have walked to. We'll find out after the break.
Hey John, these are the walking contestants.
Coming up on Topstory.
or marathon. But strangely enough, when they started off, I thought, okay, these guys, are they serious that you want to take in the site?
Yeah.
But actually, they had a plan.
They did have a plan.
Earlier on Topstory.
You're about to launch into an investigation. We have no idea what this investigation is all about.
This is no longer a classroom project. This is a taste of real life, as it were.
Interruption kidogo. There was another poaching attack at Lake Nakuru National Park. The Nakuru police are searching for suspects and say the details of the investigations are strictly confidential.
It's been a very long walk for KIMC students. Will they find what they're looking for?
So far, we went from Kenya Wildlife Services, and from KWS, we were directed by a lady there from KWS to go to a street known as Kanu Street. And we went to Kanu Street and we found another lead, and that lead directed us to a place known as White House around Nyahururu Way, and a place known as Blue Bay. But on reaching Blue Bay, we tried to reach the source, but she told us that she has gone. So we have to wait for her around 30 minutes.
A long walk followed by a long wait. To get through the challenges of producing a top story, USIU's answer is team spirit.
Tiring, we waited. We waited for a while. Since we got our source and KWS, we waited for like 2 or 3 hours because she told us she was in Red Cross, then we're told again to come here. So yeah, it teaches us on the virtue of patience.
I think the experience has been a little bit, yeah, there's that also. There's a lot of hunger and a lot of pain. Some people here have stomach pains, they're like, yo, I'm a lady, I'm sorry, I exposed you. But ideally the whole experience has been awesome. We're still hoping to get done with all our sources by the end of the day, but the way the weather is looking, I don't think that's going to happen. But still, let's wait and see what happens.
USIU are spreading their high spirit to Kenya's future storytellers. Journalism is stressful. Sometimes the only way to crack a story is to crack a joke. The rain interrupts the fun and it's back to business.
They went inside the van and they drove off, and there was some exchange of gunfire. So that's what I came to learn later, that they were poachers.
The interview with teacher Martha produces a lead to the next key source.
Now, let's agree. I know you are going to call. Is that not so? I am happy you are very sincere. You are going to call that number.
There are 7 key sources in this investigation. With only 24 hours left to the deadline, Kenya Institute of Mass Communication and United States International University have both found and interviewed 3 of the key sources in the investigation. As the sun sets over the town of Nakuru, the 2 teams meet their mentors for more tips and guidance.
Hey guys. Karibuni.
Thank you very much.
So what's up? How was your day?
The day was very exciting. We just, from the time we got the task, we started researching, went to the sources, and we just pulled together as a team.
It's good to hear.
The whole day. Yeah.
All right.
Very
so,
interesting.
So how many people were you able to?
Today we were able to speak to 3 people, 3 sources. And
now you've spent up your first 24 hours. You've only got 3 witnesses. I don't know how many more there are still. Maybe there are not more, but I don't know. What would you say about the pace at which you're moving?
I think we did a good job as a team. We think we have achieved something really big. Having in fact that there are 13 teams and some of them really didn't know what to do. We feel as if we...
How do you know they didn't know what to do? I thought the investigations are secret.
We could hear them. We could hear some of them.
You had a spy with this?
No. We could, sometimes you meet up with them and then you could hear them mumbling something.
So these amepotea.
Okay. But we think we have really got something better and we hope to achieve more tomorrow.
Journalistically, at what point do you think you are in terms of your story, given that you have to finish tomorrow?
Could say 50.
50%?
Yeah.
You feel like it's more.
You feel like it's more?
Yeah, because
is this 50? You say how many?
I'm thinking probably 70.
70%.
Because the last
You've done 70
we have 30% left to go.
Oh, okay.
Because the last source we talked about, the clue she was giving us, I think we are almost nailing it down.
What was that clue?
She connected us to like the police officer supposed to get her number or something. So now once we interview, we have 2 interviews tomorrow.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I think the police officer is going to be our last one if I'm not wrong, unless we're given another lead.
How can we support you? What are you struggling with at the moment?
In terms of interviewing, we're finding it kind of difficult to hard press an interviewee because some of them are skittish. So trying to really pin down the interview and get the information you want is a bit tricky. So I don't know what you'd advise us.
Maybe a couple of things that might help. You obviously will need to watch the body language of the person that you're speaking to. What is it that they're saying with their body language that they're not saying in words? Also, I don't know how you're doing your interviews. All interviewees are not the same. Because you're a team of 5, you might want to deploy a different strategy. Like if you go to the police and say, this is a really tough person, you might want someone here who's a bit softer to approach them in terms of who does the question. So treat each person separately, but find out how much do you think this person knows, how much are they telling us, and how much are they withholding us. How important is it, whatever we haven't heard from them? And is it time to move on to the next person?
Remember, the focus of this is a crime, and any information that helps you resolve that crime will be the best lead to follow, I'd say. So sometimes you never know what kind of witnesses that you meet. Because of their state of mind and the way they are, they might give you information that might not necessarily be helpful to you. So really think through your questions, think about what the person is saying, and that way I think you'll be able to resolve things a lot quicker.
Well, if you're confident, we'll wait to see whether you can produce the top story. Good luck, guys.
Confident bunch of guys.
Hey. But they still got quite a bit of ground to cover.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think they shouldn't be too confident. I think there's still quite a bit of stuff to cover, especially that given the fact that they've got 2 interviews plus the story to sit down and think about tomorrow. They need to cover ground fast. Although what I did like about them is their persistence in going back, feeling that they didn't get the right information, going back and asking for information, which I think helped them feel more confident about the story and the direction.
I also find them quite thoughtful. You know, they're actually thinking about their approach, and actually maybe not too overconfidence, but confidence generally helps.
Yeah, it does.
Because then you're not putting yourself down too much and you're actually going for it. So I think these guys, you know, they're pretty close. Not yet, but pretty close.
But will confidence get them the top story?
We'll see.
Yeah. KIMC, yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Now, how was your day?
Okay, the day has been tough, but so far we are kind of getting used to it. Initially, it was very hard because we had to understand what we are going to tackle. Yeah, that's the most important thing.
You say the day was tough.
Yes.
There were people who saw you walking in town. Have you been walking a lot today?
Yeah, we have done that very much.
What was it? But couldn't you take a cab?
Yeah, we wanted to experience
the walk.
And we wanted to observe a lot. So we just decided to walk and see.
Observation to be able to help you do the story, or to be able to take in the sights and sounds.
Get the story firsthand.
Okay. How many people did you speak to today? How many witnesses?
Okay, today we spoke to around 3 people.
Yeah. Who was the first one?
We went to Carol.
KWS?
Yes.
Did you walk there?
We walked there.
To KWS?
Yes.
That's
but
a distance.
Not all over.
Hey.
Around KWS.
Kuna stamina.
Yeah.
Okay, and the second witness?
Carol, we went to Chebe.
Martha
Chebe.
Still walking?
Yes.
Okay.
Then
respect.
Then lastly we went to Brenda,
in a different part of town.
Because it was far, we had to take
this time now you said but let me ask, were you guys trying to save money?
No.
It was just to walk,
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
so that we are clear.
The distance from the scene.
Yeah.
And where the people we were to talk with are.
Okay. You've made some good progress, given the kind of day you've had. Now, I don't know that you'll choose to walk tomorrow, but you only have 24 hours. This feat can only take you so far. I don't know where the next witness might be. Might be out of Nakuru, might be in Molo. Whether you can walk from Nakuru to Molo, you might come back and find the prizes of the competition were given out a long time ago. So that's just something. But I think you're on the right track.
Yeah, I like the way you're following up the information that you're getting. Not spending too much time other than walking, and not spending too much time looking for things that you don't need to be doing. I also like the fact that you're open-minded about where the story will lead you. That I think is very important, to remain objective about it rather than to have a conclusion right now. So I think tomorrow, as long as you've got your interviewees down pat, then you're pretty much on the right track. I don't think there's really much we can help with unless there's 1 or 2 questions that you might have.
Okay, my question is, up to now, at the point we have reached, do you think we are safe, or maybe you are getting late?
You know what I would say, guys? You're over-worrying. You took an editorial decision to leave out the person who, and you still got up to where you are. It means that information was not useful. was not necessarily. So don't look to John Alanamu and Joseph Warungu. You're already doing it yourself. So just have some courage and give it one final push. Miguu yenu imewasaidia sana. Good luck, guys. Hey, John, these are the walking contestants.
Miguu niponye.
Ni watu or marathon. But strangely enough, when they started off, I thought, okay, these guys, are they serious that you want to take in the sights?
Yeah.
But actually, they had a plan.
They did have a plan.
They asked themselves a critical question. How is it possible that this person walked from the park and yet nobody saw him? And they took that.
And they took that part. I think that's really important. That's mark cracking now. Be able to put yourself in the shoes of the person who may have committed a crime. I think that was a masterstroke. In spite of the fact that it was funny, it was a masterstroke.
After the advice from their mentors, the two universities now have 24 hours to find the remaining witnesses and complete their stories.
It has been very frustrating.
Next week on Top Story.
Hectic interview with that doctor, Mr. Doctor. Once I meet you from this, we shall have a talk.